first of all, sorry about the weird lighting. Second of all, I'm here to show you what I am currently reading. Now, I have just had quite some tumultuous last few weeks, so I haven't really been reading much. And I think I was talking before about how I was only reading poetry, mostly because I didn't have the concentration levels for anything more complex. So I have a few poetry collections on the go, and a few kids books. So I will get right into them. So first off, I'm reading a poetry collection called Whiskey, Words, and a Shovel, Volume 1. So there are 2 volumes of this. This one is a pretty hefty thing for a poetry book. Usually poetry books are a little bit smaller. I know the poetry book that I wrote was smaller, but I'm enjoying it. They're very short. Like this one, I'll read it to you. The heart versus the mind. I hate it, the way the heart takes too long to figure out what the mind already knows. Right, and it's in like nice typewriter font. Right, so it's fairly nice. It's just not connecting with me in the way that I really wanted it to, or in the way that The Sun and Her Flowers connected with me. Ruby Kaur. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your name. Anyway, her book, this one, also Milk and Honey, but this one especially struck a chord with me. I just loved it. Loved it. It was just beautiful. The illustrations were beautiful, the poems were beautiful. The structure of this book, I really enjoyed. Okay, maybe I'll do a separate review on this. Anyway, I'll stop talking about this book and start talking about the books that I meant to talk about. Anyway, Whiskey, Words, and a Shovel, it's okay. It's not great. It's okay. I'm still reading it because it's definitely readable, and it's short, and it's got good emotion in it. That's one thing it does have. It has lots of emotion. It just doesn't maybe have the refinement that I would want, or maybe the natural eloquence that maybe someone like Rupi has. So, my 2 cents, I don't know. I like it. It's not bad. Next up is another poetry collection called Wildly Into the Dark, Tyler Knott Gregson. And it is gorgeous. A gorgeous book. I'm going to do an author spotlight on Tyler Knott Gregson because I've got 3 of his books right now, and I just love them. Love them. So they call them typewriter poems because he started writing on typewriters. And this was because he wanted it to be totally unedited. So he wanted to, so basically it's kind of like word vomit, you know, like, but in a very eloquent and amazing way, right? So you're just getting his thoughts. You're not getting any editing or anything, any refinement. So I know I just said I liked refinement, but this is very naturally eloquent. Tyler Knott Gregson is very talented, I think. So here is a example of one of his poems. I've marked it off with a little card. I'm just going to show it to you. I'm not going to, or maybe I will read it to you. There you go. But so that's what it looks like, right? It's beautiful font. I guess I will read it to you. Okay. Don't come to me with a flimsy boat and expect my seas to calm. I am tornadoes on churning oceans. Water spouts in black clouds like fingers of a god stirring his coffee black as night. I'm a raging storm contained in flesh, and you cannot love me in a rowboat. Come for my lightning. Come for the way my thunder will hold you, in a way that no one else ever would. Don't come to me with your maps and star charts and facts about the wind. Set your sails and we'll end up lost together. For I know not where these gusts will blow. Stand on the bow and raise your arms like an offering. Have no fear of the rain in me. Have no fear of the dark. For I will cradle your ship like an infant thing and give you home in all the raging. Right, so that's beautiful. That is beautifully written. It's beautifully thought out. It's a beautiful metaphor. And just all of 3 of these books by him are filled with gems. He's just genius. He's genius. So I'm going to do an author spotlight on that, so I won't talk any more about that. Next up was, so I went with the theme of easy reading, quote, and picked up like 400 Junie B. Joneses from the library because I adore Junie B. Jones. I think she's the funniest person in the universe, and no one will ever be able to sway me from that perspective because I just love her so much. And I got about halfway through. This one's called Toothless Wonder. It's about Junie B. Jones losing her tooth, and it's one of the top teeth, so it's a big deal. And there's just like this really funny scene where her grandpa, what is it? Here we go. Oh no, I shouted, oh no, my grandpa Frank Miller knocked my tooth out. And then she's like, 911, my tooth's knocked out. Like, it's hilarious. Hilarious. But for some reason I only got about halfway through. I think I was reading it on the bus, and then I got off the bus and something weird happened, so I'm in the middle of this one. I'll get to it eventually. Or not, you know how these things go. Probably I'll have to return it to the library before I get to it, but, you know, in my heart, I'll get to it. I've already read it, so I know how it ends. Not that I remember it, but anyway. Next up, I'm reading, and this one's been going on for a while, so you will probably be shaking your fingers at me. But it's the third series of unfortunate events, The Wide Window. How far am I through this? Halfway? Yeah, halfway. Not even halfway. So, yeah, I don't know what to say about this. I love this series, and I read the first 2 books rapturously. You know, I was so engrossed in them. So engrossed. And then I got to this one, and I was like, you know, I don't really like this one as much. So I'm not sure what I'll do about my review series, or if I'll even finish this book. I really want to do a review of some of the later books, because I feel like the plot progresses really drastically, whereas in maybe the first few books it sort of stagnates a bit. Lots of like building up to the plot devices and stuff like that, but nothing really happens in this book, I think. My humble opinion, this is maybe my least favorite of all of the Lemony Snicket. No, never mind. There's a really bad Lemony Snicket book out there that I really didn't like. I don't remember what it's called. Oh, Who Could It Be at This Hour? Something like that. Anyway, it's like a mystery book. Really didn't like it. Anyway, this is the worst of the series of unfortunate events, in my opinion. So, who knows if I'll read it again? Who knows if I'll finish it? Maybe I'll skip it and go on to The Miserable Mill, which is the 4th, or even The Austere Academy, which is the 5th. That's actually probably one of my favorites because you get introduced to the Duncan triplets. No, the Quagmire triplets. Duncan and Isadora? Something like that. The Duncan triplets. The Quagmire triplets. Who are wonderful characters, and they're a great addition to the book, and they help flesh out some of the plot, right? So I really am excited for them to come into the series. And last up, my favorite book ever, Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making. So I'm about halfway through this one. No, not even a third. A third through this one. And I just sat down one day and I was like, you know what? I just need something comforting and beautiful and something that will strike some emotion into me. So I picked this up and I was like, I'm just going for it. So I just sat there and read. So, yeah. You know, I haven't actually done a proper review on this one, so maybe I'll do that. Gosh, I've got so many videos I have to do. Anyway, I got a really nice comment on my YouTube channel the other day, where somebody said, you deserve more subscribers. And I was so touched. I wanted to go and give that person a big hug. I don't know who you are, but you really made my day. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope you watch this video and hear this because it made my day. Anyway, this video is long enough. Those are what I'm reading. So you can let me know what you guys are reading in the comments. Not that you ever do, but you know, you could. Options out there. Love to hear from you. Anyway, that's all from me. Bye guys.